Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
But tell me, Eddie, is that a rabbit in your pocket or are you just happy to see me?
So, hello, everyone. As you can see, obviously, I'm going to be off camera, and that's because a thunderstorm decided to spring up shortly before the stream was supposed to start. So,
what'd you do to piss off Zeus?
I had the audacity to just ask what heathens told Stuttering Craig to watch the theatrical version of Lord of the Rings first. Yeah,
Yeah, I'd try throwing a bolt at your house too.
Oh, what?
You're telling him to watch a theatrical edition.
No, I said what heathens told him because I quote tweeted his tweet, and he said he was going to watch the theatrical version on his locals channel. So I was like, what fucking? I didn't say fucking, but what heathens told him to watch the theatrical versions first, or
Yeah.
It's been
good point then. There
at this point, it's been nearly 23 years. All right, just watch the extended ones. It's like there's going to be any appreciation.
As far as I'm concerned, there is no theatrical editions anymore.
Yes. And even then, I was like, we still notice nuances missing in the edits. So, even if you wouldn't exactly notice it being a Lord of the Rings, if you're not a Lord of the Rings fan, you kind of would notice it with the editing. So, just watch the extended. But anyway, so I just realized also that I forgot to tweet about this. So while you're doing your intro, and before I say hello to the chat, I'm going to do the tweets, and I can go over where they can find you.
All right. Well, you all can find me on Mara's channel twice a month for the ones and twos. You can find her twice a month on my channel for the singles. Tuesdays, you can find me at 1:30 on my channel and on X doing my theme streams. I'm going to be doing the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and the Fantastic Beasts movies, my thoughts on them, what I like about them, what I don't like about them, for the theme stream next week, because I'm doing franchises this month. Also, Thursday tomorrow is From Paris with Love. Have you seen it yet?
No, I'm watching it tomorrow because I wanted to
get it.
Have it fresh in my mind, especially since this will literally be the first time I am watching it.
Alrighty then.
Since I had to, rewatch Lethal Weapon 2 for this stream, I didn't want exactly cross wires essentially.
Yeah, I get it. All right, and also Friday is Orange Hat Uncensored on here and X. Sunday is the weekly recap with me and Nerd with a Cigar, Kate, where we're going over some topics. Got a couple of good ones, specifically one about Disney still haven't made back all their money after buying Star Wars. So that's nice. Also, Alan Richardson's a dickhead. And other than that, just doing videos here and there.
All right. I'm not a fan of the new YouTube layout. I hate the fact that I have to close. It hasn't been rolled out to everyone, but right now, the original layout is the description is underneath the video, so you don't have to search for it anywhere. Well, right now, some genius decided, hey, we'll put it underneath the chat box. So you have to close the chat box to see the description and the analytics for the video, and then remember to put the chat box back open.
Jesus Christ.
So that's the layout right now. So I'm not a fan of this layout. Anyway,
they keep on making these micro changes, and it's fucking stupid. It's like, don't you guys know when you have a good thing?
I don't know, especially since why? Okay, if you want to optimize something, whatever. But at the same time, it's why move the description? It's perfectly fine underneath the video because that's where people are going to look. Underneath, right underneath the video, they're watching. Is if there's anything added by the uploader. But anyway. Before I say hello to the chat, and then we'll get into talking the sequel to Lethal Weapon 2, or Lethal Weapon from 1987, Lethal Weapon 2 from 1989. And what I didn't exactly realize from the first Lethal Weapon is the budget for Lethal Weapon was $15 million. And what did it gross? Hold on.
We never do talk about that.
Yeah, 15 is like a budget of 15 million. All right, so this is basically like $1987, 15 million, and it earned 120 million worldwide on that $15 million budget, which is a decent chunk of change. Even back then, and even now, it would be a decent chunk of change.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so basically because of the success of the first Lethal Weapon, to no surprise to anyone, a sequel was commissioned. Shane Black was asked to pen a script for the sequel, and much like the first one, it was way darker than what we get. Which basically, it's like while it wasn't exactly completely altered, there were things changed, particularly by Donner and so forth. Just basically making sure it kind of more matched the tone of the final product we got with the first Lethal Weapon. So it wouldn't make sense to have the tone we got with the first Lethal Weapon and then go with the again much darker tone that Shane Black had. I'm not saying the script would have sucked or anything, but at the same time, it's like I understand why Donner kind of had to step in again with the sequel, just a little bit. But from the top, I see Trey. Says this one might be my least favorite of the four, but it's so good. Yeah, like the line, diplomatic immunity, bullet to the head. It's just been revoked.
Yeah.
Yes, and this is also the only one where Murtaugh has the final kill, because in the first one, it's both of them. And then 3 and 4, I believe Riggs has the final kill. I'm not saying like Murtaugh's not there.
Yeah.
But I believe this is one where Murtaugh actually gets the bad guy. Because for those who don't know necessarily the trivia with the sequel, original script actually basically had Riggs dying at the end of this movie. And even then, 2 endings were shot for this film because they weren't entirely sure if they were going to, because Donner and company essentially wanted to keep Riggs alive. However, they also shot an ending where Riggs did die, and they weren't sure which one they were going to use, the happy ending or the sadder, darker one that Shane Black actually had written.
Yeah.
So, but there's again when we get to the ending scene, there is a little bit of trivia because we do see a little bit of what was shot for the sad ending in the final cut for Lethal Weapon 2 at the end. So, hey, Gravy, you'll be lurking, maybe pop in with the usual stupid comment. Well, no worries. So, hopefully, you have a chance to watch these movies again at some point. Yes, I will. I don't know necessarily if I'll review 3 and 4 later down, but maybe I'll watch them and then talk about them in another stream or something down the road.
Definitely invite me into that one because I would love to discuss them.
So, well, right now, just sticking with the 1s and 2s with the schedule we have. Citizen Ronan, hello. And yes, I did see your quote, and yes, I do know the entire quote is, "We're back, we're bad, you're black, I'm mad."
Yeah.
Yes, I know that's the entire quote, but I only have so much space on the thumbnail. That would have been small text, and not entirely sure how YouTube would have handled that quote on the thumbnail. I don't know.
Well, they shouldn't have, or they would, or I don't think they would have minded, especially, or if you put it in quotes, they would not mind it because they would be able to put 2 and 2 together. I mean, as much as I do not like YouTube at times, they are actually wise enough to understand a movie quote.
So, but that's again part of the reason. Main reason is I only have so much room on the thumbnail. That's why I try to pick shorter quotes where I can have the text be a bit bigger.
Soul Assassin, Jet Li has played bad guys in many movies. War, Lethal Weapon 4, The One. He's played both the bad guy and the good guy. He's got range. Let's just say that he's got range.
Yes, and that we'll talk about the commercial that we find out that the daughter did. But I love the rubber plant. In the office.
The rubber tree.
And this line here, where the contractor says, like, like, she makes me want to go out and buy rubbers right now. That was actually ad-libbed.
Yeah.
It's kind of like on the cuff, like basically off the cuff, like, when he was doing it like during rehearsal, so they kept it as basically as part of the movie.
Yeah, and then they gave Leo the same freaking line.
Yeah.
Like, she just looks good. She makes me want to go out and buy rubbers. Or
yeah.
That's when, or I'm willing to bet there was an extension to that scene where freaking Murtaugh just belts him.
Yeah.
It's like, you fuck.
This okay was ad-libbed by Joe Pesci. Because when we talk about his character, we'll go into how his character was originally written. Which is, we have Joe Pesci to thank for the character we get in this movie. Oh, and I love it. The fuck you at the drive-thru, which I understand completely. They fuck you at the. I completely get that rant.
They fuck you at the tellers. They fuck you at the drive-thru. They fuck you with the cell phones. They fuck you in the tunnels.
Yeah.
Believe me, I freaking lost it when they shortchanged me at the teller. It's like, check your teller or your till.
Yeah.
I don't care if it inconveniences you. You check your damn till.
When it comes to Lord of the Rings, I call it like I see it. Yeah. I don't know. I got plenty of books. I can like line up my books on my bed so you can see how many I have. So, and I would trust Orange Chat with as well. I say like, like whom are you going to listen to when it comes to Lord of the Rings and which movie versions you should watch. I'm just saying. So, this is Orange Chat's Twitter. Hey, Luke. No worries to Luke. Making sure I don't miss anyone. Yes, I do watch parties also on my Discord. Last watch party I did was Porky's. That was an interesting experience. I forgot how many times the N-word was dropped in just one scene alone. And back to school.
Oh, fuck, I forgot to go back to that, or I forgot to watch that one because I was gonna watch that one, but fucking Friday rolled around and shit just fucking went nuts.
Yeah. It was like a spur of the moment thing because I was too tired to stream. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do another watch party. And you know what, fuck it. Let's because I had shown Back to School the night before, so I was like, fuck it, let's watch Porky's. Yeah. So whatever you need, Leo gets. That's he's nice.
Okay.
I love
whatever you need, Leo gets. When I was younger, I used to be able to do his when my voice wasn't fully broken through, as in I used to be able to do that voice very well.
She should have given a heads up what kind of commercial it was. Yeah, right, kind of. But at the same time, she might have been under a non-disclosure type agreement before it aired, so she might not have been able to even say anything about the commercial because, like, basically that was the first time it's officially airing. So sometimes before even a commercial airs, you can't talk about. Because, like, depending on the product, depending on whatever business you're promoting or whatever, like, they have you sign agreements. So I don't know.
Not only, I love what he says. He's like, Daryl, home.
And he's like, George, home.
Or, George. It's like, George, home. Okay. But
Sir, George,
I got a gun. George, I have a gun. Yes. And he's just freaking standing out at the door.
Yes.
Like,
I love when Ray says, but he's a poor shot. It's an old gun and he's a poor shot.
Hey,
thank you for the $5 super chat from Rookie. Hello. Lethal Weapon movies freaking rock. I agree. Like, like I said in the last stream, it's like there might be weaker additions, but that by no means means that there's like a bad one in the bunch. They're just not quite as good as the other ones. It's kind of like the Evil Dead franchise.
I'm looking forward to Lethal Weapon 5.
Yeah. Because
Mel Gibson is doing it and he's directing it. I mean, I'm curious as to what the damn story is going to be because let's face it, fucking Danny Glover's not getting any younger.
No, neither is Mel Gibson. However, with Mel directing it, I trust him to do it. The characters. So let's put it this way: I trust him. We'll see, like when, like it's like basically the story is like revealed, like what it's going to be before I like make any final judgments.
Mm-hmm.
But I would trust him over someone else directing it, especially. So, old cranky gamer says Lethal Weapon 2, but my kitchen floor is buckling and I cannot find the leak. Yeah, I like the mine. Don't mind the plastic. Like, I love it. Don't mind the plastic and like piping being fixed. Oh, that's the reason why plastic is down. After that, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's got kid probably growing up, but I want to see. I want to see.
This is the only movie or Lethal Weapon movie in which sexual intercourse actually there was a sex scene.
Mm-hmm. Which like the actress, well, we were not going to show since I'm going to be skipping over the sex scene because I don't want to revealing anything. The actress, she was uncomfortable for a couple of reasons. Nothing to do with like Mel Gibson or anything, but because they were both married to other people at the time, and they were both Catholic. So it's kind of awkward for her, like doing the sex scene. And two, she basically stripped down buck naked. All right, so she's like buck naked in the scene where Mel Gibson has what she calls a modesty pouch.
Cocksock.
So he was wearing that during the sex scene. So like she's basically buck naked, and he at least has the pouch on.
Well, yeah, that's to prevent, shall we say, excitement and accidental penetration. Yeah. Shall we say?
Yeah. So I mean, I get it, but I love how like it's called a modesty pouch.
They gave one to Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah. So. But anyway, so let me just present the screen. All right, so this one I think is the only one with the where the 2 is like the numerical is like red like this.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if DeFont actually has the Lethal Weapon font on their channel or on their site.
What?
Freaking hell. I wonder if DeFont has Lethal Weapons.
I tried looking at it. I had to find it somewhere else.
Bummer.
So I like the font I use on my thumbnail. I had to find somewhere else. I tried looking on DeFont, could not find it.
Yeah.
So this one starts with a car chase, and it's basically a running joke throughout the movie, which I kind of appreciate just because like it doesn't necessarily get old, but like they still find a way to kind of keep it funny. Is that with his wife's new car, because Murtaugh is using his wife's new station wagon with the siren as part of his police work. And this car, I'm surprised that at the end of this movie, I'm surprised there's even like
a car left.
Any structure left to the car.
Have you who in the chat has seen Get Into My Car, or was it Get Out of My Dreams, Get Into My Car? It was a movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Basically this movie is somewhat a testament to that movie. Or, well, that movie is somewhat a testament to this movie. Because I do believe it came out later. But yeah, I mean, cars just got trashed, folks. It's like, you're not going to have any room. You're not going to have any room. Don't worry, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, you were right.
I mean, I love... Room. Yeah, I love how Riggs is like, I mean, you were right, and the other there was no room. It's just like sparks are flying as they're going. I can't play this. This chase scene is kind of long, so I can't exactly play it. But they're chasing down this red vehicle, and this blue vehicle kind of joins in at alongside the red one as part of this chase. So basically, multiple cop cars are chasing these two vehicles, and. Well, let me see if I can get a shot of.
Yep, Drake from Aliens is in this movie.
Yeah,
as well as another Aliens cast member, Jeanette Goldstein.
Yeah, Jeanette Goldstein. Yeah. Let me see if I can...
Drake and Velasquez are both in this movie as well.
Well, I can't really get it basically, but like I said, like you see, like how basically how long it is. Like this is the end of the chase scene. So basically, if I were to play this whole thing, it'd be going for a little over 7 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty long chase scene.
Yeah, Vasquez, not Velasquez.
Yeah.
Velasquez. Whoops. I'm old. Give me a break.
Yeah, it's basically the opening 20. It's like a long one, but it's chasing these two cars, and at some point they hear the dialogue between the guys they're chasing, and they can't tell what they're saying, and so like, they're trying to figure out what language these men are speaking in.
Well, I even guess Japanese. It's like, what the fuck?
I found that funny, but it's like it actually kind of is close when they think German.
Yeah.
Given the fact that the language they're speaking is Afrikaans,
yeah,
which stems from the Dutch.
Yep.
So, which is a Germanic language, like German, Deutsch.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of close if you think about it. So, like when they said German, it's like, yeah, you are actually kind of close. But no, because like we're dealing with it's late '80s, so we're very much dealing with the apartheid in South Africa. Quite a number of times.
Back then, South Africa thing was going on.
A slur towards black people was dropped.
Oh,
by these guys. I could say it because like hardly anyone would know. Pretty much, but like throughout the entire movie, like it's like definite, like like that.
There's racism in the movie.
Yeah, there's racism.
Let's just put it that way. There's racism in the movie.
Yeah, which is
the blacks.
And you would think the South African government would have been pissed because of like basically the angle this movie took with what was going on in South Africa. But they actually showed the movie in its entirety in South Africa, and it made profits in South Africa.
Well, I'm willing to bet they actually did trim some of the dialogue or switch some of the dialogue, because some of them, instead of saying blacks, they would have said something else. So I'm willing to bet there may have been a little bit of negotiation there.
But it's like at least but at the same time it was like it's still shown in the country where they could have outright just banned it if they wanted to. Oh yeah, that scene, but you're black, and I love like Pepe's like just nodding, like, "Yep,
you are.
You're black.
He is.
Yes." Like he's nodding back. Like he is.
Of course, free South Africa, you dumb son of a bitch. Yeah, you dumb son of a bitch. Fucking Leo is such a nutcase. But I like I love the way he says it in that accent. He's like, "But because you're black."
I'm trying to get where's Krugerrands?
Yeah, Krugerrands.
Which is the gold they find in this. And basically what it's like, it's Riggs brings up the triangle trade, basically history. Where it's like, like we went from this to slavery. Now we're going from this to this to from drugs to US dollars to Krugerrands. Basically, they're moving this, like they're bringing this money in.
Switching the triangle around,
bypassing customs because they can't bring this like money in, so they're like bringing it in, doing the whole money drug money laundering thing, which ties into Joe Pesci's character, and then smuggling this shit out.
Yep, it's or back then, folks. Actually, did a little digging. Yeah, the Krugerrand was not a legitimized currency back then in the United States. If you brought it in, or if you even had one, the police would confiscate it. Mm-hmm. Due to all the tensions overseas.
So, and they find basically a shitload of that in, we'll call him Drake, because that was the guy that was driving a red vehicle. That actor.
Holy shit.
Who subsequently meets his end because he had to escape, and but to do so, he had to leave all the gold coins in this trunk.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying we're calling him Drake because he had no name, but it's the actor. It's the actor who played Drake, so I'm just going to call him Drake. And this movie, I very much dealt with, more politics than the first one did, just because the main bad guy, Andre, who Riggs loves calling Aryan, is a diplomat. So the whole diplomatic immunity comes to play.
Did he call him Aryan or Adolf? Or did he call the other guy?
He called the other guy Adolf, the one that's kind of like the enforcer for the diplomat, but he called the diplomat Aryan.
Vorsted.
Yeah, Vorsted. He called Adolf. He called yeah. So
he called the other, or he called Vorstedt
Aryan.
Adolf, and the other one Aryan. Yeah.
Yes. So I say probably have to say this is probably most of the reason why it's the least favorite for people, just because of how political it is, which is not which is not exactly bad. Which is not exactly bad, but like I said, where the first one just dealt with basically drug criminals and everything. This one kind of touches on what's happening in the world, and when you add the politics of a diplomat who cannot be touched, essentially, it kind of so
the way I see these movies are similar to the Rambo movies in that they're slightly awareness driven. They're not overtly political, but they are awareness driven. They give a little bit of commentary on what's going on at the time of each movie.
Well, I'm not saying this is overtly political. I'm saying of the ones, it's more political, just because it focuses more on that, but it's not exactly a political movie itself.
Yeah,
it's like this is what's going on, so we're going to tie that in a little bit into this plot.
Yeah.
So it adds that other element layer to the villain in this film.
Yeah, because
versus just another drug kingpin like the first one.
Yeah, because back in the first one, there actually was a time when there was speculation coming out of the Vietnam War that our government was involved in a drug trade and shit.
Mm-hmm.
That actually was a conspiracy theory. And this one is the South African. The third one was the war on cops because, well, we all know what happened in LA at that time. Yeah. And then the fourth one was, the fucking triads were trying to make, or the Chinese mafia was actually trying to make inroads into the U.S.
Yep, pretty much. And in this one, we also find out that due to a previous dislocated shoulder injury, Riggs is able to pop his shoulder out to win money on this bet that he can escape from a straitjacket. And then when he pops his shoulder back in, he's like, it's like, no, does that hurt? I'm like, it's not as painful as like putting it back in.
Yep, not as painful as putting it back in.
Yeah. And he calls, the psychiatrist, Mrs. Sigmund Fraud. She comes over.
She tries so hard.
Yeah, she
to get him into her office.
Yeah.
And I love how it came to a head in the fourth one.
Yeah.
Because the fourth one, he actually wants to see her for therapy or for a consultation. And she just fucking has had enough of his shit. But yeah.
Having not seen Breaking Bad, I'm assuming that's the actor on the left, Dean Norris.
Dean Norris, yes.
He was also, if I remember correctly, he was also in Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers, Terminator 2, Under the Dome. I mean, this guy's been around.
Yeah.
And yes,
because I was like watching this movie and I was like, holy shit, that's the I can't remember what his rank was, but he was basically the like overall commanding officer like during basic training.
Yeah.
So, yep. Oh, the get out of my dreams, get into my car. Yeah, Billy Ocean. They even feel like super chat.
Yeah.
Great use of explaining how he escapes later with the shoulder. Yeah, remember when movies had callbacks? Like they didn't just like throw something out and then just like forget about it. Later on,
yes, he was also in the one. Or he was also in the one as one of the cops.
Yeah.
Trey Courtney. Yeah. I mean, this guy's been in or pretty much everything. Either side character, background, Total Recall. Yep, he was one of the mutants. Yeah. So he's worked with Arnold Schwarzenegger in many movies. But yeah, everybody forgets that he was actually in Terminator 2 as the SWAT team member that's like, pull back, everybody out now.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, like we see like more of the cops in this one than we did in the first one, because the first one just focused on Murtaugh and Riggs becoming partners essentially and learning each one's quirks, shall we say, and so forth. Now they pretty much know each other. There's still that little bit of like say for example, like we're not gonna touch on every scene, but there's a scene where Riggs is smoking in the captain's office, and the captain throws him a no smoking sign. Like, hey Riggs, what does this say? Because this is after the captain like saying I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he says it a lot in this movie.
Yeah, he says it a lot in this movie, and so he throws a sign to Riggs, and he's like, like, can you read what that says? And like Riggs is like yeah, it's the same thing it says like right here. I don't give a fuck. And then he throws the sign back. And then Murtaugh says, it's like you're lucky I have to live with that. So there's still that little bit of a butting of heads, but at the same time now it's like you can tell that there is like a friendship that formed between the two.
Yeah.
To the point where it's like in this scene, Riggs is like telling all the other cops that Murtaugh's daughter is going to be a commercial, and that commercial is going to air officially on this channel at like 8 p.m. So he's like telling everyone to tune in. We find out what that commercial is.
Yeah. In every fucking movie after the first one, Riggs fucks with Murtaugh in such a bad way.
Yeah. Oh, this the contractor. I want his line about wanting to go out and buy rubbers is like ad-libbed. I love that.
Oh yeah.
And I love how they're fascinated with the nail gun, because he shoots the nail gun on the floor and they just dive and draw on him.
They drop and pull. Yeah.
Like, what the?
It's like,
and they become fascinated with the nail gun because they've never seen it before. Oh, this right here. Let me see if I can go back, because on this TV before. Oh, no, that's a commercial. Hold on. See if I can get a shot of the TV. Is actually a Tales from the Crypt episode.
Yeah.
Called All Around the House, and that episode stars the actress who plays the psychiatrist.
Oh my God, you're right.
So there's actually a little bit of an allusion to the actress who plays the psychiatrist in this movie, with this scene here with the Tales from the Crypt episode that's airing right before the commercial airs.
Don't you remember when Tales from the Crypt was the perfect bedtime story for kids late at night?
Oh shit! I watched Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side. I mean,
yeah.
We grew up in a time where parents like used TV ratings as guidelines more than anything. And
Folks,
you'll find out about this eventually. So here you go.
Fucking Fatal Attraction. I saw that at like fucking 8 years old.
Yeah.
Freaking whatchamacallits, Silver Bullet and Fright Night. Saw those at 5 years old. So yeah, folks, we grew up in a time where we were hardened by these movies.
Yeah.
We didn't get scared of them.
And of the two, I would actually say I prefer Demon Knight over Bordello of Blood. I think Bordello of Blood is the weaker of the two.
I'll have to watch
for different reasons. Demon Knight, I think Billy Zane pretty much makes that movie.
I'll have to watch Demon Knight because I've seen Bordello of Blood. That movie is just fucking twisted, man.
Well, it's twisted. I'm not saying it's like necessarily bad, but of the two,
it's hilarious but twisted and kind of
Demon
weird.
Knight. I prefer Demon Knight. I think Demon Knight's the better of the two.
And Angie Everhart, after a few late night movies, shall we say, when she fell off the off the entertainment radar, she lost her shit, man. And that's when even Victoria's Secret pulled her from shit because she kept on going nuts. She's in Bordello of Blood, folks, as the vampire queen.
I mean, she's was incredibly good looking, but when you go off the deep end like that, I mean, that's the level of narcissism.
Yeah, the last time I saw her in anything of any significance was the Victoria's Secret Super Bowl.
So yeah,
I mean, and that was like 2004, maybe. I think I can't remember.
Yeah, Dennis Miller was in Bordello of Blood. Billy Zane, I believe, was in Demon Knight, and Billy Zane was good.
Dennis Miller shines brightest in Murder at 1600.
I have not watched that in a long time.
Oh,
I've watched that in a long time. I'm like trying to remember like when I watched it, Because my first thought when I think of Dennis Miller is actually, because I just watched it fairly recently, was Madhouse from 1991, where he plays John Larroquette's character's like coworker.
Mhm.
Like it's a small role, so it's not exactly any like major part, but he's in that movie. And I think that's actually the first movie I'd seen Dennis Miller in. Was Madhouse with John Larroquette and Kirstie Alley.
Well, then we're gonna have to definitely reacquaint you with Murder at 1600. We'll chalk that up as one of the May singles.
All right, but anyway, so let me see if I can cue it up to the commercial and fair use YouTube, no sounds. I just want to show the commercial because again, I would say a plausible reason why the daughter did not give them a heads up is most likely because whatever agreement she signed, because sometimes they kind of hold you to a non-disclosure agreement before something officially airs.
Yeah.
All right, so fair use YouTube. Oh yeah, by the way, also there's a little bit of don't eat tuna because dolphins get caught in the nets and we're boycotting tuna. That whole thing that happened during the 80s. So yeah, not saying it didn't happen, but at the same time, I was like, it probably did not happen as often as you think. So, but it was like the whole thing, like dolphin meat getting mixed with the tuna meat, and I'm like, I think they can differentiate dolphins and tuna. Anyway, so he's eating a tuna sandwich, and he uses every opportunity he can when his family has to go into hiding at some point to eat tuna sandwiches, basically, while they're gone, so he doesn't get any flack from them.
Yeah.
Here's a Subway promo. This is like one also has like product placement galore for BMW in particular, but also for Subway. So I'm guessing Subway was a heavy contributor in terms of
the transition from the 80s to 90s, folks, or in those 4 years from 88 to 92, you see so much product placement in movies that it is nuts. It is because there was a freaking capitalist boom during that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Riggs and mocks it. But yeah, then we'll just eat Miss Piggy. Because they still eat ham and things like that. So it's like, and they just sits there just laughing. And anyway, what was I gonna say? But anyway, so here's the commercial. All right, so fair use YouTube, no sound.
Yes.
See, it's muted up here. Okay, here's the commercial. Here, I'll turn the captions off in case that triggers anything.
Yeah,
right.
That's a good idea too.
So here's the commercial. So as soon as it started playing, I was like, I know I'd seen the movie, but as soon as it started playing, I was like, what did you think it was going to be?
Mm-hmm. Give it a pause every now and then, too.
Yeah. All right, so... Okay, we have sexy women on the beach. All right, swimsuits, bikinis, sexy man on beach. There's no food. There's no food in the commercial. They're not Calvin Klein models, so what could possibly be what this commercial is promoting?
Yeah.
All right. Take a moment to use a moment in the moment.
I love it.
Covers his younger daughter's eyes.
I love his immediate reaction.
And even his daughter, it's like, we know about, they're teaching like the kids like at this young
human development. Human what?
Human what?
That's what they called it back in the late 80s.
Yeah.
It was just called sex ed in the 90s.
Yeah. So I
and the mother's like, don't be talking that shit right now.
Yeah.
Trish, take the kids upstairs now.
Yeah. Back on. Like it's like awkward silence. And like Riggs is like, oh, looking at my watch. Trish, take the kids upstairs. And they're trying to like, George, I got a gun.
Yeah.
Good night, sir.
Everybody out. George,
Yeah.
out. Home, George. Home. Mr. Urta, George, I got a gun.
Yes. And again, I love when Riggs is like, yeah, but it's old and he's a poor shot. So it's he's trying to make light of the situation. And it's further made light of later on. And I really want to get a shot of the rubber tree that they put on Murtaugh's desk.
They won't fault you for that.
No, but I'm saying, like, I love
Yeah.
the callback because, again, when movies had callbacks, it's like, remember, Riggs told all these guys, and
He's getting on his case where he's like,
Yeah.
you had to just go and tell everybody at the station.
Yeah. So he told everybody at the station, and so callback, ladies and gentlemen, later on,
Yeah.
it's without being told that everyone in the station saw the commercial, you saw what they left on his desk as a joke.
Oh my god. And the lovely thing is, they were supposed to, or I believe it was originally script during that scene when we get to it. He was actually supposed to stay kind of grumpy, but he just gave in and started cracking up too.
Yeah. Like, you could tell, like, that laugh was genuine. Like, he was,
Yeah.
like, couldn't hold it because of, like,
Yeah.
the situation. Again, gasp, callbacks.
Yeah.
So let's, this scene, it was kind of poignant with a gold pen. Because, again, it kind of, like, harkens back to, like, when Riggs lost his wife. So we get more, kind of, like, more in depth with what his character was going through. And then further in depth, which adds a little bit of closure to the character, we find out exactly what happened to his wife.
He was called to stay in at work because of a call-in that they had, and he missed anniversary dinner with her.
Yeah.
And so she was driving home, and it was called an accident.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Riggs now Riggs is actually getting close to finally putting that to rest.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, one of the characters in this movie brings it all right back.
Yeah, it brings it all right back. And also, again, I love how, like, it also kind of details how close he's gotten to the family, to the point where it's like we haven't really talked about this. So I'm not here's why. Like, I have this gold pen with me because Murtaugh's wife, Trish, will occasionally do Riggs' laundry because Riggs lives in a trailer. So he doesn't exactly have a washer and dryer. So he does she allows him to do his laundry in their home. She finds this gold pen, and he recounts basically the night he lost his wife and why he keeps this gold pen with him, why it has significance to him, and so forth. And he has a little, poignant moment between Riggs and Trish. Again, kind of seeing how close he's gotten to the family, to the point where it's like he's almost like a member of the family at this point. Granted, we got pissed off Riggs. Yeah, well, I would be if I were him, I'd be pissed off too, finding out exactly what happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because again, up until this point, it's just listed as an accidental death.
Pissed off Riggs. Yeah. That title doesn't even work for what we see in this movie. Yeah. We see Riggs off the reservation, essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like this scene between Lorna and
Trish.
Not Lorna, but Trish and Riggs. Yeah. It really is nice. And then Raj comes in. It's like, oh yeah, she found a gold pen in your laundry. In the laundry. And she just looks at Riggs knowingly, and it's like, that is such a nice thing just between her and Riggs.
I'm saying saving the daughter's life gives him points, but at the same time, it's like this is showing that some time has passed, and it's like he's almost become a member of the family, where he's watching the commercial with them, he's hanging out with them, he's joking, and so forth.
They're established.
So it's basically established that there is a connection, deeper, I say deeper than friendship forming.
I mean, the third one comes in, or the third one delves even further in it due to some of the stuff that happens.
Yeah. So, and again, the fact that he opens up to Trish in this scene.
Yeah.
So,
And she's like, I didn't mean to pry. No. I mean, and he actually opens up. He's like, I barely talk about stuff like with you guys, and you guys are so kind to me and stuff. So yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He figures it's a good way to balance it out, you know? I mean, they let him use their laundry and they let him come over pretty much all the time, eat their food and whatnot. Having a look or letting them know a little bit about him isn't gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Especially since he trusts them to the point where he knows, or he's trusting them enough with that trauma.
Yeah. So at the very least, trusting her.
Yeah.
So, come on, me just so.
Oh yes, the South Africans send the people after Riggs or Murtaugh
to scare him, pretty much to scare him, which is the reason why we don't see the family from like this point on, because they had to like basically I think they're staying with one of Trish's relatives,
her sister or something.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly. So like basically, so they're gone. So basically, this is like, you know, again, this is basically from this point on, Murtaugh's family is like no longer seen in the film because they with everything going down, like there's no way Murtaugh and Riggs are going to step away from this. So they have to get the family as far away as possible. And so, but what I didn't like, we didn't talk about this, guys. Let me see if I can get a shot. Like, you know, this man here is. I love this.
Yeah.
It's a diplomat. All right.
It's King Arthur. If you guys know what I'm talking about.
Actually, the character that Mark Rolston plays as Hans.
Yeah.
Very briefly, but I am still calling him Drake. Anyway, so Arjen Rudd plays a diplomat. He's played by Joss Ackland, and Vorsted, right, is the one that scares Murtaugh's the
Murtaughs,
Roger and Trish, basically. Like tries to put the fear of like into them.
The fear of South Africa.
Make them back off from this investigation.
Sorry, did I say that out loud?
Oh yeah,
but that's basically what he's doing, man. He's putting the fear of their corruption into it.
Yeah.
Like, we just came into your house without a care in the world, we're threatening to do unspeakable things to you and your. Did we do anything to your kids?
Yeah.
How do you know we didn't do anything to your kids? We're just gonna let your imagination run wild.
Yeah.
I mean, he even says that to him. It's like, I bet you're wondering what we did to your kids. But I'm just going to let your imagination run wild. That's dark, folks. That's fucking dark.
Well, they wanted to scare them.
Except that you didn't realize you're dealing with a cop who has a madman as a partner. And even the police actually do try to take Riggs off the case. It's like, or Murtaugh off the case. It's like, Murtaugh, we're setting you guys up to take care of this freaking police or protective custody guy.
So, but this is the main bad guy.
Yeah.
And so basically, here they're scaring Roger and Trish. And so this scene right here is where the captain, because I know, because I know you know why I'm not stressed? Because I know when to say I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, telling Roger and Riggs, like, you know, it's like, you know, we got this guy who's in witness protection before the feds can come and like watch him. We have to babysit him until the big dogs can take him off our hands.
Yeah, the State Department.
Yeah, I love this.
Yeah.
You know what that says? Do you know what that says? Yeah, same thing as that.
I don't give
a fuck.
It's like, oh, you son of a bitch. But he can't exactly fault him because he's been using it all that time. So he's like, I'm proud of you, boy.
Which is
but I'm gonna kick your ass later.
I love, which is one of the reasons why I love the dynamic in this station. Because like there is that somewhat begrudging, but a level of respect.
Soul Assassin number 1 and 3, yes. Mighty Ducks, the bad guys in Mighty Ducks as Hans.
We're back. We're bad. You're black. I'm mad. Yes. And according to like whoever wrote this trivia, I guess it was not necessarily it's an illusion, but like it's like one of those where it's like, oh yeah, we know that basically Mel Gibson played Mad Max. All right.
Yeah.
So like, it just means he's crazy. Yeah, we get that he played Mad Max, but in this case, he's saying I'm mad because it's established that he's not all right in the head.
Yeah, he's fucking
He's
crazy.
not. He's so there's a level of craziness there. Just that's why he thinks he's mad.
Going a little bit kooky, folks. He's off the fucking deep end, sanity wise. I mean, yeah, tackling a dude like 100 feet up from a pool.
So,
like we're about to see.
All right. So here we get Joe Pesci's character, Leo Getz. So basically, we find out that he's basically somewhat big time in the money laundering schemes with these cartels, other big bads, and he decides to basically turn informant because it's the big bads kind of discovered that he's been skimming off the top more than like his take for a while now. And I love when he asks, like, it's like, who's going to notice, like, like 10,000 here or there? And they're like, drug dealers. They're going to fucking notice when money's missing.
Like, you dumb shit.
Like, they're going to fucking notice when money's missing. Yeah. And the okay was ad-libbed by Joe Pesci because let's talk about this character because like basically he was actually originally in the original script supposed to only be in like one scene, but they decided because of Joe Pesci's performance to keep him as like a bigger role in this movie. And originally he was supposed to be like described as effeminate, basically. And for those who don't know what effeminate means, girlish. So, yeah, so
trying to please
yeah, he describes like an oily, effeminate character. So girly. Yeah, but like
essentially Trey, yeah. That's clay pussy.
But Joe Pesci basically does what Joe Pesci does best. Did not like the depiction of the character he's supposed to play.
This is the kind of character you want me to play? You out of your fucking mind.
Yes.
That's basically what he said to him.
Yeah. Pretty fucking much. It's like, it's like no, like, you got out of your fucking mind. I'm not playing it like this. So he pitched the idea of Leo being kind of like the all too eager to please type of character.
Yeah.
Basically, so the okay was ad-libbed by Joe Pesci. And there's a callback in Home Alone to that.
Yeah.
Because he was frequently saying that it was ad-libbed as part of his character, and he would repeatedly say it throughout the movie when he was talking to Murtaugh and/or Riggs. So in Home Alone, the plumbing, like the quote unquote plumbing company that they like the van they had is OK Plumbing. It's a little callback to this character, or at least the okay. So he's been put up in this suite. I love it. So basically, like, when like since we like we're not. I don't think there's really much we can necessarily say about Murtaugh and Riggs. Like, their characters have grown closer, but like the new characters have been introduced. So Joe Pesci, let's what are your thoughts on Joe Pesci's character?
I love this character. I mean, he steps it up in each movie from 2 to 4, and he does it in such a great way because in this one, he's basically a snake oil salesman, money laundering idiot.
Yeah.
In the next one, he's kind of like the same damn thing, but more legit. He's more CI. And then the third one, he's a freaking private eye. And
hey, sub.
I absolutely love how he does it. And he he plays it so well because Joe Pesci knows comedy as well as he can do seriousness. And when he does, or he can blend both of it in such a great way. He knows when to play an annoying asshole. He knows when to play a semi-wise kind of character. He also knows how to play a wise guy kind of character too. He does it so well. And in this, I just love how he's just establishing his character, but it's so fucking done well, especially at the end of this scene where he gets into the pool.
Oh,
You're supposed to be looking out for. Oh, shut up!
Shut up! Like the mountain trying to tell him to shut up.
I mean, like what Mel Gibson does in the pool, he just fucking he thinks it's the bad guy, so he's fucking just
wailing and like punches Joe Pesci's character in the nose.
Broke fucking nose.
Oh, and I love like when like Murtaugh and Riggs come in, and I think like basically Riggs is the first one, tells him to shut up or something like that. He's like, "Oh, I get it, good cop, bad cop," and like like he like turns to Murtaugh, and like Murtaugh's like, "Shut up!" Like, "Oh, okay, I get it now, bad cop, bad cop."
Yeah, it is just so fucking good.
And he's like, it's like, "Well, I got my like stuff in that like that room," like like. Okay, I'll take the smaller room. Like it's like
smaller room, smaller guy.
Yeah. He's like,
I mean, he wants to please. He's overly, he's an overly timid little shit.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, man. Every crew has their freaking comedic element that is outside of the main force if you're dealing with comedy, and he kind of becomes that element that keeps the glue together, you know?
Yeah.
But he it's not overtly done.
So
it's great.
And for the for those in the chat, Danny DeVito was one of the ones originally considered for the role of Leo Getz, and I cannot see that. So I honestly cannot see Danny DeVito in this role. However, there was another actor originally considered for the Leo Getz role. However, he was basically occupied because he was doing another movie at the time, so he was unable to take the role, and that is Joe Pantoliano. Whom I could see in this role. I
can too, because he kind of does that kind of slick ass character in a few other movies.
Yeah.
I actually liked his character in Daredevil, Pantoliano's character as Ben Urich.
Yeah,
I thought he actually did a good job of that one, but I also thought he actually played a good villainous role in The Matrix.
Yeah. So of the two, like if like Joe Pesci, like say for example, did not work out, which I'm thankful he did because he owned this role, and he added that layer of comedy needed outside of the two main leads that we already know that are already established. Their back and forth banter. Joe Pantoliano, I think, would have worked just as well in that role. I'm not sure if he would have played it the same way. I kind of hoped he would have, at least similarly to how Pesci plays it, because again, it works. But I'm glad they went with Pesci and not Danny DeVito. So I mean, the only thing that we don't know what happens is like what happens to the actual waiter.
Yeah,
because he's intercepted by the bad guy who comes in who's going to kill Leo Getz.
Yeah, and I love that. It's like, or they're like, not who is it? The police. Yeah, how do I know it's a police? Then
they shoot you through the door and you can examine the bullet.
Yeah. So then they let him in, and he lets him in. What the fuck is wrong with you?
You asked for a badge? You want to see a badge? Like that's when he's like, "Oh, I get it. Good cop, bad cop." And Murtaugh's like, "Shut up!" I'm like, okay, bad cop, bad cop. So, but anyway, so I just want to skip forward because I want to like. This is the bad guy. All right, I want to like, again, fair use YouTube, just playing a little bit because I wanted to like show you like in the chat how Riggs dives onto the cart.
I'm sorry. I do love this. I didn't order the hamburger.
I didn't order hamburger. I ordered eggs. Boom. Pulled out a gun. And to Leo Getz's credit, he's like quick, so he is struggling with the gun, and again, I love how down. Okay, like Murtaugh's like just like staying in place, and Riggs just dives onto the cart, just and out the window.
No, not the window. Oh shit!
7 floors up.
I mean, at this point, Murtaugh just got PTSD from the first movie.
Yeah. Boom.
With the jumper.
The guest screaming. Fast forward. Just wailing. Just.
Isn't there?
He's punching Leo.
Isn't there in every movie a movie or a part where Riggs falls from a decent height? I mean, there's the first one where he jumps off. This one where he falls into the pool. The fourth one, he falls off of a roof into a dumpster. Did he do that in the third one?
Trey's saying yes. So.
Yeah.
So hold on, guys. Respond to a text real fast.
What is that ringtone again?
Well, the text tone I have is a combination of a vibration. So in case I feel it in my pocket, and the sound of the shield going up in Halo.
Oh, nice. I might get that just to piss off or just to fuck with the animals at my brother's house. Murtaugh is getting too old for this shit, Subhuman. As you can see, Subhuman, hadn't seen you since my original profile got nuked a few years. So yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. Riggs falls off a bridge at highway construction in Site 3. Right. I'm going to have to watch those 2 movies now. I'm going to be watching Shogun after this.
So I'll be right back. I'll be like just a couple minutes.
Okay. I'll keep them entertained.
I love when Leo's explaining the money laundering to Riggs and Murtaugh.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah. But yeah, that's the good news, folks. My strange thing about how my original one got reinstated, because when Elon did the general amnesty thing, I went to my original one and started doing the appeals to see if I could get it back. And lo and behold, unsuccessful. But then recently, I get an email for that original Twitter, and it's like, you have to change your password because there's some weird activity on your thing. And it's like, weird activity? That one's been fucking suspended for so long. And give it time, Trey. Give it time. Check the email that your original account is attached to. You never know, it might work, dude. So then I get that email, and so it's like, okay, so I'm still suspended. So I figure, you know what? I'm gonna do one last appeal. And I did it kind. I was kind in my words and whatnot. And in like less than 40 minutes, my original account was reinstated. I'm like, holy shit. But there was a stipulation. I had to get rid of the tweet that got me banned in the first place. It's like, you're seriously telling me to get rid of a 3-year-old tweet? You know what? Fuck it. I'll get rid of it. I will get rid of that freaking tweet right now. And I will, or you know what? I'll do fuck Joe Biden on my blue check one. I'm trying to keep my original account more entertainment based. So I'm actually getting rid of all the political shit off of that one, which means, yes, I'm going to lose followers, but I'm trying to get my original one more politically, or not politically aligned, but more entertainment aligned. It's just that I don't want to have to follow all the humongous fucking channels anymore either. So I basically did a major purge to clean up the original one. Still following people that I've had outs with, but you know what? Yeah, shit happens. But yeah, other than that, Subhuman, good to see you again. Haven't seen you in a while. Been a minute. And Trey, I love the new I like how you changed your profile picture on Twitter, because buddy, I got to tell you, your original profile picture on Twitter was not flattering. I mean, the bong looked like something completely different at a distance.
Okay. So,
how much of that did you hear?
I mean, we're skipping over some scenes basically, but Leo remembers, because like Leo is telling them that he only deals with couriers basically. So whenever we did the money laundering for the
so I'm gonna launder your money.
Drug dealers, like you had basically the boss or bosses or whatever here, me and the couriers. I only deal with the couriers, and he's explaining how he would clean the money, the drug dealer's money, aka laundering. So it would look legit, right? Basically, start dirty, look legit, basically. So he's like explaining all this to them. And he remembers that he was at one point taken to a house. And he remembers it was on stilts.
Yep.
That's all he really remembers. Because
I love how he does that too. It's like, okay, I'm gonna remember. And then he tells this whole story, and it's like, that's it. That's where it was.
Yeah. Like the ninth house, basically. Like my lucky number 9. Like in ninth house, they like go to. He's like, this is it. This is it.
And it's on stilts, which comes to play later on in the film.
Yes.
Leo gets his ass beat a lot in this film.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much. Pretty much does.
Oh.
And Riggs is close, and this is the language they're speaking. So Afrikaans, which again is like derived from Dutch, which is a Germanic language.
Now, folks, funny thing, you've heard of the Romance languages, right, Jay? Or right?
Yeah.
Well, the Dutch, German, and all those other languages, they actually, somebody told this as a joke. The other languages are the Romance languages. These ones, because they're so vulgarish sounding, were, well, the opposite of consensual, shall we say. That language,
I think
those kind of, which is like,
I think King George is the one who said, I speak Latin to my priests, French to my mistress, and German to my horse. So
vulgar,
I believe it was King George that said it. As far as the languages. So
nice.
He's good at money laundry, but not regular laundry.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, like Riggs sees that they're basically all this money, and basically chaos ensues. And I love this.
Oh God. Yeah.
I wish I could play this chase, because
they stop mid chase to get his gun.
Yeah, I know. I wish I could play this chase, because it's basically this. There was the bad guy that pretended to be the waiter. Yeah, who brought the tray in, is the one that's driving this tow truck, because this woman is getting her car towed outside the house that's on stilts. So this is the car that this bad guy decides to steal, which Riggs is able to get onto, because he before the car really takes off, he's able to climb over the woman's car and get up the bed and things like that as this chase is progressing.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point loses his gun.
Yeah.
To which Murtaugh stops the station wagon, and we see Leo get out and run over as Leo runs to get the gun that Riggs drops.
Yeah.
Um,
And I love that. Leo's like just running like this with the gun above his head.
yeah.
It's like, give me that.
Let me see, like right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he loses it there. Yeah.
All right. So, fair use YouTube.
Oh.
Not playing for a long time, so Leo runs out.
As long as it's
Picks
not
it up.
over a minute, you should be all right.
Yeah.
Or over 40 seconds, rather.
And this is how he runs back to the car.
Yeah.
It's like, give me that.
Yeah. It's like.
And then the ending. I want to get to the ending because the ending is just fucking crazy.
Yeah, dude takes a. It's like stop.
I think this is close to it. All right, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he has to stop. Like, oh shit! He
Oh,
forces him to stop. Okay, forces the bad guy to stop, which causes the woman's car to be hit from behind by Murtaugh and subsequently shot over the bed.
Yeah, I love that.
Missing Riggs, which hits that car.
It's a
And then
surfboard.
surfboard comes flying off the red car and takes out the bad guy.
Yeah. It's like, oh shit.
It's a very final destination. So basically, the series of events. Bad guy is forced to stop. Right, Riggs is like basically thrown off the car as a result. Murtaugh hits the woman's car from behind, sends the woman's car flying, nearly hits Riggs. The woman's car hits the red truck that's forced the bad guy to stop, and when that impact causes a surfboard to fly off the roof of the red car and subsequently take out the face of the bad guy. So he is no more.
Yeah.
Yeah, surfboard where his face used to be.
Now when I talked Lethal Weapon, or I do believe I did talk. I don't think I did talk all of these ones before, but Lethal Weapon 4 or this one, somebody asked one time, do they ever get in trouble for killing a diplomat? Because this guy is, as we learn at the end of the scene, they all have diplomatic immunity.
Mm-hmm.
Even the henchmen. So do they get in trouble for killing a diplomat? And the answer is actually answered in that scene. No, they don't, because this guy didn't identify himself as a diplomat.
So and I would say that even whatever trouble they would have gotten into would have been minor, given the fact that all this shit would have come out on what this diplomat was doing. So rather than let any more information leak out, I'd say basically it would be a slap on the wrist at the very most for killing him.
And diplomatic immunity nowadays, folks, if a diplomat pulls a gun on you or a gun on a cop, that cop does have every right to return fire.
Mm-hmm.
They actually lessened diplomatic immunity after certain events in which people were getting away with very heinous crimes.
Yeah. And like hiding behind the whole diplomatic immunity bullshit. Yep.
It's like diplomatic immunity will no longer cover what is known as felonious crime.
Yeah. So.
Or high crimes and misdemeanors, or high crimes and felonies, rather.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't kill anybody and get away with diplomatic immunity. You can't violate women and get away with diplomatic immunity.
Mm-hmm.
Not anymore.
Let me just.
So yes, at the end of this movie,
this
Murtaugh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they tried like basically doing a sting operation, but didn't work out because again, diplomatic immunity forced them to basically had to leave, and so.
Dear boy, you can't even give me a parking ticket.
So this where's her name? Patsy Kensit.
Yep, Kensit.
What did you think of her character in this movie? I was like, I could have taken her character, basically leave her character because she didn't really, other than other than like another layer to Riggs's character where he's like finally able to move on, or he's
That's
like
basically
really,
what she was there for.
yeah,
She was to offer a slight foil to Riggs to give him a chance at happiness until the Band-Aid is completely ripped off.
so
Or not just the Band-Aid, but the scar too.
yeah.
But yeah, I actually liked her character. She played the character of a foreign diplomat very well, especially in the scene where he basically harasses her so much in the store, which was cute. But it's like she played a good job with it as a person who likes him and whatnot, but can't really say anything because of what she has as a job as a diplomatic attaché, so to speak.
Oh, she's
But
more than willing to,
Yeah, she's
say
more than
without
willing to
saying
flip.
what's like, later on.
Yeah, she's like, he's hiding behind his diplomatic credentials, isn't he? And he's like, yep. So she basically
Because she's not a
says
fan
flat
of her
out,
boss.
yeah.
Like he picks up that she's not a fan of
yeah. Well,
Arlen.
there is that scene later when she's
Arjen.
getting dropped off home.
Yeah.
I mean, he tries the whole smooth caressing the cheek shit, and with that very intense look, and it's like, she ain't gonna give you anything, bub.
No.
Not happening.
So, and Patsy Kensit,
She's only did like 4 or 5 or 6 movies.
she was a singer, actually.
Right.
She was a part of the short-lived British pop group Eighth Wonder. She was a lead singer, actually, in that short-lived British pop group. But as far as further acting, I don't recall seeing her in much of anything post.
I haven't seen her in other movies either. I have, or when I check on Fandango at home, which is formerly Voodoo, it only pulls up like 6 or 7 other movies.
Yeah. And she doesn't like the country's politics. She's not a fan of her boss because like Riggs. And this is like another thing that like it's kind of like happens in this movie, and that is Mel Gibson's Australian accent comes out a bit more in this movie. So like there's like frequent like times where you could hear his accent, like particularly in the supermarket scene when he's teasing her.
Because at that point he's ad-libbing.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot of ad-libbing in that one.
So
when you get those fun little scenes where it's just a playful banter here and back and forth, they actually give them a little bit of leeway, but you got to stay on point with the discussion. But you can do a little bit of ad-libbing.
Yeah. And this part is like what like you were talking about, where he, like full on racism.
Yeah.
But at one point he caresses her cheek.
Just skip ahead like 20 seconds. Or
like
right there, yeah.
Good night. And she just, nope.
And she's like, good night, Mr. Rat.
Yeah, nope. Yep.
It's like, yes,
not happening.
He has that very intense look, tries to caress her cheek. And it's like, I'm pretty sure she went and took a shower for like 3 hours when she got inside.
And shortly after this, again, we're skipping parts, chats. I mean, we're not covering everything, but like Riggs starts harassing Rudd.
The tree. We got to get to the tree.
Yeah.
We must get to the tree.
Oh, yeah. Leo decides to clean Riggs's trailer. Oh, we have to talk about this thing real fast, and we'll get to the tree.
Yes.
So basically, it's like, like it's kind of like, it's like, hey, we're checking in on these guys. Like this guy checked in, this guy checked in, but we haven't been able to get in contact with Murtaugh. Like they call Riggs. Like, he's been in contact with you, and he's like, no. Yeah, like basically, like goes over to check on him and finds out that the bad guys, because they wouldn't let this go, they wouldn't be scared off, planted a bomb behind.
Yeah, the scare tactics didn't work, so turn up
to the point where it's like, if he were to, it's kind of like the bathroom version of Speed almost, where it's like you couldn't go below a certain miles per hour in speed, otherwise the bomb goes off. If he lifted one butt cheek off the toilet seat,
pressure plate.
Yeah, there's a pressure plate sort of situation. It'd go boom, pretty much. So he was basically, for one better way of putting it, glued to the toilet, proverbially, all night.
His fucking legs are numb and everything.
Yeah, and it's one of those bombs where it's like they couldn't just disarm it,
No.
so they had to have him like wear one of those flag vests, flag vests.
Bomb vest, yeah.
And they gave one to Riggs as well because Riggs would not leave his side,
Yep.
and so they covered the bomb with like liquid
Liquid nitrogen.
to delay it for a couple
Yep.
seconds to give them a chance to get into the tub, which would
Yep.
offer another layer of protection. And this is
Because
actually
they also
part
had a
of the-
bomb blanket on it as well.
Yeah, there's like this is actually I gotta find the trivia because this is actually part of the teaser trailer. This scene here is the bomb in the toilet sequence was used as an early teaser trailer for the movie. The trailer ended with the toilet landing on Murtaugh's car and the voiceover announcer saying they're not taking any more crap.
Oh god, that was good.
So this scene was used in like the one of the early teaser trailers.
I am gonna have to look for that tonight.
Yeah. Like they're not taking any more crap.
Well, after what happens after these scenes, yeah, I would understand why. I also like how the there's
I love when this therapist comes in. It's like
I can handle anything.
anything, and she walks in.
And then
And it's like
he opens the thing to show that his pants are down. I can't handle this.
like this. I
And
can't
she
handle this.
turns around, and there's Riggs, and she's like,
Because Murtaugh, because like Riggs is saying, I have to call this in, pretty much. He's like, be quiet about it. Be quiet. Like next thing we know, it's like there's like
Tells
full
everybody.
frenzy in the front of his house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Magnetic
I gotta
switch.
call it. Okay,
Yeah.
everybody back. A full frenzy. Fire
It's
truck,
like Jesus Christ,
squad.
Riggs.
fire.
And there's Jeanette Goldstein's character. Oh my god,
I
man!
love this. I know you're a psychiatrist.
But I
it's
got
not a
one
pretty
that's not
sight
a
in
pretty
there.
sight in there.
I felt policemen through some of their most traumatic moments. There's something in this room that I cannot handle. All right, let's do this. I love that. There's something in the room I cannot handle. And walks in. I was wrong.
I was wrong.
I was like, I may have been a tad wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one lady cop who also played Vasquez in Aliens, as well as the foster mom in Terminator 2, did try to sneak a little peek.
Yeah.
And they're
I
like,
love
"Go."
that. Sneaks a peek. Hey.
Hey.
Ow.
Which is, I think, is like
Oh.
shortly after this.
Yeah.
Me.
Excuse me.
I love this.
Oh,
I love this.
his
It's like
eyes are
again,
crossed.
like Riggs loves messing with her. I love this. He loves messing with her.
Yeah.
Boom. Where there's one, there's the other.
Yeah, I love that. It's like, just those little
And
bits,
then-
man.
And hey, split.
Hey, split.
She tries it. Anyway. So this is the pressure plate bomb scene, which is like, again, I appreciate because he's like Riggs won't leave his partner.
Nope.
They're trying to get him out. He's like, I'm not leaving him. So they give him a vest as well.
It's like, are you sure? And Riggs just looks at the guy and it's like, you're gonna need this.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that look just says it all. He's not leaving his partner.
And another reason why is because what Murtaugh has to do is he has to get up and like pretty much a split second dive for the tub, and he's like he's been on there for 18, 20 hours. He has pretty much no feeling in his legs. I'm going to have to be here to basically hoist
Yank
him
his ass
into
out.
the tub,
Yeah.
and make sure that he survives this.
Yeah. And I love
He's
that,
not
man.
he's not leaving he's not leaving his partner. They're pretty it's like Traces are basically brothers by this point. He's
Yes.
not leaving him.
Absolutely not, man.
So-
Oh, by the way, I like how he asks the bomb tech, what kind of gun do you have? And then he lets him borrow his gun until after the whole point because, well, yeah, you don't want to accidentally pull somebody onto your piece, you know?
No. So Smith and Wesson, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like they have this like moment where it's like it's and kind of like
Keeps
another
him
callback
calm.
to it's like, are we going on 3 or it's like a 1, 2, 3 go? Because earlier on in the movie, like Riggs is like it's like on 3, 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
and he like dives towards like the red car
1,
pretty
2,
much, and
3.
Murtaugh didn't like was like I thought we were like 1, 2, 3 go, and like kind
Yeah.
of call back to this. So like when Riggs is like ready to count 1, 2, 3, Murtaugh's like okay, we're going on 3, or it's like he's like making sure at this point.
Yeah.
So on 3, huh? Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
on 3. Huh?
okay, yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
1. Sure.
I love this. 1, 2.
No, wait. What?
Okay, yeah, this is the question. So,
yeah, that. Yeah.
it's your.
Okay.
He's like, I don't like, like, oh, we can do it on 3, we can do it on go, but it's your ass. And like,
Yeah, my ass. Yeah.
So, 1.
Martin.
One.
What?
Yeah, like this.
Oh yeah, the whole "I love you" gig.
Yeah. On 3.
3, 1,
2,
2.
3. Boom. And here's where the teaser. Boom. They're not taking any more crap.
Yeah. And the fact that toilet survived.
Yes. They were built to last.
Holy
Back
shit. Where's the flushing mechanism on that toilet?
Well, that was before the invention of low flush toilets. Like, they were built to last back then. Look at the car took more damage than the toilet. The toilet just lost a freaking seat.
Yeah.
That's it.
By the way, from what the looks inside of that toilet, it definitely needs a cleaning.
Well, I mean, he was on it for 18 to 20 hours, so I can imagine. I mean,
He's probably scared shitless at that point.
I mean, yeah, that might be a little bit of fresh,
yeah,
product given the situation.
I think Stig would be proud of that pun that I just dropped.
Oh, this scene.
Oh,
here,
yes.
Where they distract so Riggs can get.
Yeah, because Riggs at this point has been harassing
Rudd.
Mr. Rudd.
Yeah, and he wants to sneak in
Yeah.
to find evidence used against him. So like, this is such a bad time for him to go to Africa.
Yeah.
So like, well, let me talk to your it's like it's like ask your friend to come back later in the week and we can sit down. Oh, he's here now. Let me talk to him.
He's here.
He's here.
That's it. All right, I'll let you.
Alphonse. I love that. Alphonse.
Alphonse. Yeah, come here. And I love this.
I love
like,
the
oh
shock on his face.
no. I mean, this is the voice inside that guy's head. Oh no.
How you doing? I think there must be some mistake.
Fine, you racist fuck.
Say what? Yeah.
Sir, listen to your friend.
He knows what he's talking about.
He knows what he's talking about.
I think he really wanted to go to South Africa.
I don't.
Say why?
Because you're black.
I love this. You are. He is. I just love that. I don't know why. I just love how Pesci just delivers that line.
Yeah.
Like, you are. He is.
You are. He is. Yeah. He's. Of course, I'm black.
Yeah. We find out this is all basically a ruse to get like distraction, so Riggs can sneak up and find
sneak
evidence.
into the office. Yeah.
And we finds the hold on. Finds the note. Alba Vargan.
Yeah, Vargan.
So it's like and another part of trivia is like, there has to be like a goon. It's part of like the bad guys that has glasses. So there's like one in Lethal Weapon. There's one here that got punched by Riggs.
Now, also, this guy in front of Riggs, who's played by what's his name? He's like Martin Riggs. Are you Martin Riggs?
Yeah, he knows.
This was at the diplomatic or at the Stilt House, and he's like, "Yeah, from the Chicago Riggses."
Yeah, I love that. But like we kind of established early on that that this man here is at least has heard of Riggs. Yeah. Now we don't know the extent, but he's knows his last name and knows his first name.
Not the Riggs.
At the very least, we can gather that he's heard of him.
Yeah. Now, if you were actually to put a little bit of a mustache on that guy, you actually would get a very good approximation. Just saying.
Yeah, because Riggs loves basically alluding to the rather Nazi-esque
Yeah.
mentality of Rudd and
These
his
guys,
cronies, to the point where he calls Rudd Aryan, and he
Yep.
calls Vorstedt
Or Vorstedt.
Adolf.
Yep.
And
that.
he's
Mhm.
and again you see that Mel Gibson is a in real life he's a fan of the Three Stooges, so we see Three Stooges again in this film, and even alludes to the Three Stooges when he's doing Eenie, Meanie,
Mhm.
Miney,
Mine.
Emo.
Emo!
Like shoots
Shoots
the
the
fish
fish
tank.
tank.
So technically, I mean, I guess technically he does kill Rudd's fish, but you still see them like flapping. So technically, I mean, if you got them in water fast enough, they don't die. But he
No
shoots out
fish
the
were
fish
harmed
tank.
in the making of this film.
Yeah, he shoots out the fish tank to cause mayhem, so he can get away.
To make sure there's no pursuit.
Yeah, and there's a
I
scene where he's like,
love the whole fucking thing. It's like, and he says, because you're black. They're fucking laughing about it in the car.
Yeah, because you're black. Like,
Yeah, because you're black. But yeah, I love that.
We see after, basically he's like asked, like, they're sex on the first date, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
But because of what Riggs and Murtaugh did, or particular Riggs did,
They
see
declared
that
war on
he
the police.
started targeting officers, other cops
Yeah.
on the precinct.
Weiler gets shot, hung upside down. It's like, how you hanging, Weiler?
Yeah,
Because he has
he's
those.
shot while he's
He
one
was
of those
working out.
inverter things. So he's shot while he's upside down.
You son of a bitch.
Santiago, I think that's the character's name. Played by the actress who plays Vasquez, Jeanette. She's killed in a bomb when she starts swimming a pool.
That's the second time she dies from a freaking bomb.
Yeah, pretty much. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 die, I believe.
Yep.
In the poker game that Murtaugh was supposed to be at.
Yep, but wasn't.
Because he's babysitting Leo.
Yep.
So, if John McClane met Riggs and Murtaugh, McClane and Riggs would call each other goat cheese, while Murtaugh would say, "I'm getting too old for this shit." So,
oh my god, that would have been such a great freaking movie. Die Hard meets Lethal Weapon.
Yeah. When he says second time, he's like counting Vasquez, because Vasquez dies in a bomb in Aliens, and then she dies by a bomb in this one.
Yeah. You were always an asshole, Gorman.
Yeah. So I'm gonna skip over that part because, again, like, sex scene. So they kick Sam the dog out because Sam has his own little trap door.
Yeah,
doggy door,
which they use.
Yeah. Which again makes the callback.
Yeah. And the police are trying to freaking call him.
I do like how the captain handles the scene, because I understand, I like how they have like the intent, the tenseness. Like, how many do we have to lose? He's like, focus on, care about the ones who are still alive. Like, we make sure like, they're still alive. All right, like, we can't do any for the ones who are already gone.
Yeah, the guy right there in front, you see him in a lot of TV shows nowadays.
Yeah,
he's a lot younger here, so. But yeah, I think he's in Law and Order or something.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, so basically, there's like this, because of everything that's happening down. Like I said, I do appreciate how they had the captain handle this in this scene. It's like, we can't do anything for the ones who are already gone. We can't do anything for them now. So let's focus on the ones who are still alive.
Yeah.
So.
It's not about the ones you lose. It's about the ones you can save, or you save.
Yeah, it's worry about the ones that are alive. So.
Sam the dog.
Hey, Sam the dog survived. Sam the dog survived.
Yeah, I just love how X-Ray actually puts Sam the dog as Sam the dog.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious. That's
okay. Hold on. So I'm skipping over scenes basically. Murtaugh has Leo stay in the car, and there's a door missing. We skipped over that part because Leo opens the door, and they're trying to tell him to get out on the other side. And he's like, "There's no one coming," so he opens the door, and again, like I said, early on in the stream, everything that could possibly conceivably happen to this car happens.
I think the only thing that or I'm pretty sure that this movie and the movie Tommy Boy rival the damage to a car that is just insane.
Yeah. He's trying to keep a level headed, yeah. So like when Murtaugh gets out, I love the back door is just plastic.
Yeah.
So he tells him basically like, like turn the heat on if you're cold. Like, it's cold in here. You have no door. We have no door because you're a dumbass opened it in traffic. So if you're like hot, if you're cold, turn the heat on.
I mean, they don't even have a fucking windshield.
Yeah, you're the reason there's no door.
Yeah. Turn on the heat there.
Right.
Like turning on the heat is kind of a foregone conclusion at this point.
Yeah, so they basically, this is Murtaugh, like, in the course of talking with Leo, because Leo's like showing him like how basically bad guys get away with certain things on tax documents and deductions because Murtaugh wants to use his boat as a deduction.
Mm-hmm.
And Leo's explaining how like you can't do that, but then the light bulb. I love how the light bulb clicks in Danny Glover's head, like at the face, like his facial expression, where it's like the name. It's not a person.
Yeah. It's a boat.
It's a boat. Call back, ladies and gentlemen. Murtaugh has a boat. Family video, like yes, it might be considered convenience, but at the same time, it's like he has a boat. He had a birthday, like at least a party on the boat, a celebration on the boat. So that's where he saw the name because they were in the harbor. He saw the name of the boat because he was like, this name sounds really familiar to me. He can't place it, but he places it. And while he's like in his house, Leo is taken by the bad guys. Like he's sandwiched in between the two bad guys. Like one gets in on the driver's side door, and as Leo's trying to get out on the passenger side door, the other one gets in. So he kind of like he's like kind of sandwiched between the two bad guys, and then two more try to take out Murtaugh, and Murtaugh takes him out with a nail gun.
Yeah.
That he and Riggs are fascinated by at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And I love the line, nailed them both.
Yeah. And shortly after this movie, folks, Danny Glover would go on to kill an alien in Predator 2.
Yep. I'm skipping over this scene, but basically Riggs' trailer gets shot up. Riggs takes out some of the bad guys. And I'm happy that Sam the dog survives.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But unfortunately, Riggs and...
Oh. Yeah, I love that. The dog's head is up and then drops right back down.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I'm not getting involved in this shit.
No. So, Riggs and...
Vorsted.
Vorsted, but I'm trying to remember Den Haas, Rika. I'm trying to remember her first name. Rika are basically caught, and unfortunately, Rika is drowned.
Yeah, she's already down there.
Yeah, she's already down there. And Vorsted is revealing to Riggs, and I love how he does this. He's revealing to Riggs how Vorsted knows Riggs. Right, because it's been established what Riggs used to do before he was transferred to the precinct that Murtaugh is part of.
Yep.
And bringing up what happened to Riggs' wife. So this is where Riggs essentially, beginning of where Riggs gets closure, because up until this point, the only thing his characters knows, the only thing the audience knows is that his wife died in a car accident. They were supposed to go out to dinner, just like an anniversary dinner, like a romantic dinner, but work was too much. He couldn't get away. She waited for him. She waited for as long as she could. She decides she's driving back home. And that's when he got the call that she was in an accident, which hence the gold pen story from earlier. Mm-hmm. So if you have not watched this movie, I don't want to go into it because that scene is, like I said, poignant. It should be best watched rather than gone through detail what he talked about. However, but now we find out that it wasn't just a car accident that his wife was in. Vorsted orchestrated it. And not only do we find out that Vorsted was the reason why his wife was in that car accident,
he was the one that did it.
He was one that did it, and then she did not die right away.
Nope. He went and explained that he watched her die slowly.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically he's killed both of Riggs' women.
So at this point, not only has Riggs
And Riggs was
scars,
the target. Yeah.
his mental scars have which were now started to finally heal over completely. This dude just literally took a knife and just reopened that scar and then just cut even deeper by killing Rika as well. Because
Oh,
Rika's down.
killing Rika as well, and like finally telling him like you were the target. Like
Yep.
he's like your wife dying was an accident, but that didn't stop me from watching her die, pretty much.
Yeah.
And this is where Riggs goes postal. And again, callback to earlier in the movie where he's like basically they try to drown him, but he's able to dislocate his shoulder to get out of the sack he's in and escape. He can't save Rika, she's already dead, and at this point literally goes full fucking postal.
Yep.
To the point
She's
where
dead,
he's
Raj.
willing to drive by himself to go to the house on stilts and most likely get killed because he's going to take on the entirety of this drug
Group.
ring.
Yep.
And Murtaugh stops him. Doesn't stop him necessarily from going, but he stops him from going by himself because we have to have a plan.
Yep. I love that. It's like, tonight I'm not a cop.
Yeah.
And neither is Murtaugh, because Murtaugh takes his own badge and puts it in his drawer
Yeah. So it became personal. So like I said, he couldn't save. So here's a conversation.
Yep.
So
You don't know
I'm gonna
what's
get to
happening here.
I'm gonna get to the part where he says, "I'm not tonight I'm not a cop.
Yep.
We'll take care of it. I'm not a cop tonight. It's personal."
Yep.
There's more. I'm going to get those bastards. He's basically telling Murtaugh like what he's going to do, or like, in so many words.
He can't even hear him. He
Yeah.
can't even hear what Murtaugh's saying right now
No.
because his mind is so
Yeah.
freaking. It's like, well, the stilt house is just gonna have to come to me.
Yeah. He's saying he's like on. Like his mind is still on. They killed them both. They got Rika. They got my wife. They killed them both. They got Rika. Like his mind is pretty much gone right now.
It's instinct right now. He is operating on pure animal instinct. You took something from me. I'm going to take it all from you.
Yeah.
It's punishment, essentially, without the Frank Castle.
Yeah.
I mean, this is something worthy of Frank Castle. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the Punisher would be like, nice touch.
And here's the scene. Pretty much, I want to get it's like this scene where it's like, okay, tonight, because he knows deep down he cannot stop Riggs, but tonight, like neither is he.
He's standing by his partner.
Yeah. Boom.
It's not that he's giving in. He's standing by his partner.
Yeah.
If his partner's going down, he's going down, though.
Mm-hmm.
He's family.
So like I said, he stops him, but only long enough because, one, he's going to stand with his partner, but he's not going to stand by and watch his partner just go in, guns blazing, without any plan, and very likely get killed. So it's like, okay, I'm not stopping you from doing what you want to do. We just have to, I'm just pausing you so we can come up with a plan.
Yep.
That's it.
And yes, Trey, that is also true.
Yeah. So, like, basically, tonight, both Riggs and Murtaugh are not cops. Full-on vengeance.
Yep.
So, and poor Leo is, like, just beaten up. So, and this is, let me see if I can get shots. Because Riggs has this cable tied to the stilts, again, comes into play.
Shaking the shit out of that house.
Yeah.
You know how much horsepower's got to be on that, Betty?
Well, it's a GMC Sierra, I believe. And I think, according to trivia, this is the only one in the Lethal Weapon franchise where it's a blue Sierra, whereas like in the other ones, it's black.
Yep. The fact that, or I'm pretty sure that they cranked up the horsepower for that vehicle because there ain't no way the normal vehicle would be able to defoundation a stilt or a foundational stilt.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't have time to watch anything, but yeah, because you did a video on this, right? Alan Richardson.
Yes, I did a video.
Finally got into it with some cops.
He attacked the entirety of the police, and the Fraternity Order of Police responded.
So I'm like,
he played victim after.
So I'm like, I don't watch Reacher. I might still give it a chance, but I wasn't watching it. But at the same time, it's like
he's not doing himself any favors.
No, not doing himself any fucking favors. I'm not saying he has to toe any line for any political side or anything like that. So I'm not you're within your right to say stupid shit, but at the same time, it's like when you say this, when you go after people Christians who for the life of me, I can't understand why Christians vote for Trump because he's this and this, things like that. You are single-handedly making sure that there is no further seasons of Reacher.
Yeah. According to Yellow Flash, Reacher apparently got into it with the cops. It didn't go well. Oh, I'm very well aware of it, Albert, not a retro. I pay attention to all that shit, too. And he unfortunately did this while trying to promote warfare for ungentlemen, or gentlemen for ungentlemanly warfare, or
which I'm still going to see that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, you're pretty much ensuring single-handedly that there's no further seasons of Reacher.
Yeah, because it's like, dude, you're entitled to your opinion. You're not entitled to your own facts.
Yeah.
I mean, what I basically said in my video, this is the wrong road he went down if he was going or standing against an institution. The best thing he could have done, go to a police precinct. Ask if you could do sit-downs, ride-alongs, look or talk to the certain divisions. Get to know the system before you freaking judge the system.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically the point of my video. And I will be bringing it up on the recap this Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I think this is so adorable in a way, where it's they're telling Leo, they're having him take Murtaugh's car, go to the precinct, tell them what's going down, and I just it's funny and adorable at the same time, where he's like, can I turn on the siren?
Yeah,
he's so excited. He's so excited. He's so excited. He's like a kid. I'm like, can I?
Dude, these two are on a murder mission. So, of course, they're going to say yes to you just to get you to fucking leave.
Oh, and he hug. I love, it's he hugs Murtaugh. I don't want to hug. Oh, give the little fellow a hug.
Give a little fellow a hug. You might not see him again.
Yeah. You'll be lucky if you see him again.
You'll be lucky if you see him again. I really had a lot of fun. Yeah. There you go. Now get the fuck out of here.
And he does his duty.
Basically,
yeah. I was like, wait. It's okay if I sound the siren? He's so I love the look on his face. It's okay if I sound the siren. He's he's almost like a kid asking parents, can I?
Yeah.
Can I?
Can I?
Yeah, knock yourself.
Yeah.
Loud as you want.
Loud as you want.
Okay.
Really? Okay. Really? Yeah. Goodbye, Leo.
Yeah. And when to Leo's credits, Leo, come on, pause. Leo's credits, he does do what they ask him to do. He goes to the precinct.
Yep.
And he tells them this is what's going down.
Now, Alba is actually Scottish, so I wonder if Alba Varden actually means anything in a different language.
Mm-hmm.
Alba Varden meaning name of a cargo ship. Well, obviously, let's see. All right, in English. Alba Varden, Alba Cairn in English. Okay, so that's weird. So, Alba Gubrach means Scotland forever. So Alba Varden, I guess, doesn't mean anything in English or translated from anything else. So I was just curious.
the pier where like the harbor where like the last like scenes or shots was actually kept intact up until like literally the final shots of filming, but just because they weren't sure how the movie was going to end.
Yeah.
So for a while, even like just about like up to the point where they were just about done filming, they weren't sure how the movie was going to end because they weren't sure if, in particular, if Riggs was going to live or die. Even with the positive at least reception to the ending where Riggs lives, again they still weren't sure, so they filmed 2 endings.
Yeah.
With this, and they kept the harbor intact because they weren't sure if, like, especially if they did go back and reshoot for any reason, they wanted to make sure they were still standing.
Yeah.
And we're gonna skip over the scene where they find the money, because at one point you see I love how you see like Murtaugh's like toying with taking some of the money, because like he's like holding.
Yeah, so I could put all 3 of my kids
one stack out of like countless stacks. He's like, this right here would pay for all 3 of my kids' college tuition.
Go ahead and take it. They're not
Yeah.
going to miss it. That's drug money. Put it to good use.
Yeah.
At this point, remember, Riggs isn't a cop right now.
No.
And neither is Murtaugh.
No. But Murtaugh is still the by the books mentality. Yes. So he was tempted.
I like how it takes a whole 2 movies to actually bring up something with money and Murtaugh, though.
Yeah.
Because in 4, or IA thinks Murtaugh's on a take. It's just that his wife is writing cheesy sex novels.
Yes.
You ever hear of Ebony Clark? Yeah, she writes those cheesy sex novels. Yeah, her. You boinking her? No, I ain't boinking Ebony Clark. Great shit. Trisha's Ebony Clark. Trisha's Ebony. You are boinking her. Yeah, I'm boinking her. It's like,
yeah, very tempting to assassin. Very tempting to give it a good home.
Oh yeah.
I do
love how that was right there, man.
Yeah.
Busting the money.
I was gonna say one thing I really very much as off the deep end as Riggs has gotten.
Mm-hmm.
I do very much love, like, even during the mayhem, that as he's shooting the bad guys, he's saying the names of everyone.
Yes.
They've killed.
Shapiro, Weiler, Kavanaugh, and Rika, or he then goes Rika.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, he's saying the names of everyone they killed.
Yep.
So, and this one, okay, so I love Vorsted's death.
Yeah. Also, Vorsted was doing some martial arts shit in this scene. That's definitely a body double.
Oh yeah, so let me see if I can go back a little bit.
Yeah,
so he's like stabbed. Hold on, let me see if I can get a little bit of a fight. Yeah, see.
Yeah, right there.
Like, yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can tell that's not the actor. So
yeah, I'm thinking to myself, there's no fucking way that is the actor. Not with him basically doing Jeet Kune Do shit.
Yeah. But this is what I want to play, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because, it'd be like how he like basically gets Riggs into a position where they have to fight is that he basically throws a knife into his leg.
In the back of his calf, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why Riggs is limping. So Riggs is limping towards there. Boom. And no more Vorsted.
Now, you want to know what would have been a perfect icing on the cake for that?
Mm-hmm.
If he would have said Victoria.
Yeah, it would have been.
If he would have said Victoria right then, it would have been very freaking fitting because that was the one who killed his wife.
Yeah. So, hey,
and we all,
yep.
Hey, MJ, good to see you, Jetty. And I like that. We all think it's the end, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Literally using a freaking German Luger coming up here.
Okay, I'm just like starting and pausing, so we can see what happens.
Just
Because this is
go,
where
like,
there's
10
still
seconds.
some.
Yeah, skip
Is
ahead 10
Riggs
seconds.
going to survive or not?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Boom, gunshots,
boom.
and just this is why it's like holy shit. And empties a Luger. Pretty
Yeah.
much empties a Luger into Riggs.
And
So if you ever
folks,
use YouTube, they forgot about
those
Rudd.
guns, those German Lugers, are not to be fucked with.
Nope, they're not.
German Lugers have such a high velocity. It's only ever so slightly exaggerated in an Indiana Jones movie. And when I say ever so slightly, I mean it would have gone through two people at
Mausers,
most.
Lugers, German weaponry is pretty much like
not a Luger, the Mauser. Yeah, sorry, but yes, the Mauser is not pistol you fuck with. The Chinese even updated.
This is the lethal weapon where Murtaugh has the final kill.
Yep.
Makes sense. Riggs almost died again. Yeah. Like they did shoot two endings.
Yeah.
For this movie, the one where
Diplomatic immunity,
where Riggs survives, and the one where Riggs dies.
Yeah.
Just in case they weren't sure, even while filming, which ending they were going to go with. They Donner was leaning to the one where Riggs survives because he didn't like how dark the other ending was. However, just to be safe, they shot the other ending as well.
Yeah.
And diplomatic immunity.
Yeah. Boom.
Boom. All right. So Murtaugh gets the final shot on the victim.
Just
been revoked. Now this shot. So let me. So it's like possibility of
It's like
this shot right here.
You're a beautiful man. They couldn't stop laughing.
And I forgot to stop on the rubber tree, but to go back to that. But basically, I think they're genuinely laughing. Like, give us a kiss before they come.
Yeah, give us a kiss before they come, buddy.
This shot here is actually part of the shots where Riggs dies. So this helicopter shot flying away, basically zooming out and kind of flying away, and we see all the other cop cars coming that basically Leo gets. Has kept his word. He went to the precinct. He told them what was going on and where it was all going down. This is actually part of the scene shot for where Riggs dies. So technically, there is a scene in here, where Riggs does die.
Or with dead Riggs.
With dead Riggs, basically. With dead Riggs. It's that.
Yeah.
It's that scene. It's this scene right here.
The sad ending was Shane Black's intent, but he left before the movie was done because the studio wanted to keep the series going. Yeah, it's like
this is why they wanted Riggs to survive, because they wanted to keep the series going.
Shane Black was all for the freaking dark shit, man.
I think he was going through some personal shit at the time, which is kind of why it sort of leaned dark. But this scene here, again, is where it's technically you're looking at a dead Riggs.
Yeah.
So
now we got to go to that rubber tree.
Yeah. I gotta find it. Here. Right here. These are Leo's these are good cops. They're the best. One time a guy was waving. Leo, get over. Okay, here it is. Here it is shot.
Yeah.
The cops got together and got Murtaugh a little gift.
Yeah. What is it?
I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. Well, what's that mean?
What's everyone's ass parked on my desk? There, boom. Rubber plant.
Condom tree, rubber plant. Yeah. And it's like, you motherfucker. I mean, he does the same thing
Yeah.
fucking or to Murtaugh number 4, folks.
Ray's like, I had nothing to do with it. It looks to be like a weak supply.
Yeah.
Okay, go spit. I forgot you're too old for that.
Instead of saying go fuck yourself, he says go spit, essentially.
Yeah.
But I love this because it's
I
like
love Ford, you don't like it? You can exchange it. And like they're all laughing and like Danny Glover, he broke down and laughed. Like there's no he can't keep a straight face in this scene.
Yeah. And he actually does have I do believe he has a similar laughing condition to what Arthur Fleck has in the Joker.
Mhm.
But not the same, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so that's the rubber plant, which
Yeah.
he
We had to
character
show that.
there. Which it still works. It still works.
Because they kept it.
Yeah.
But I like in the fourth one, to give you guys context of how much Riggs loves fucking with Roger. He's like, right, or here's what we're gonna do. Take your clothes off. What the hell for? He's like, I need to distract him so I can get a shot at the nozzle on that fuel tank because there's this fucking armored dude with a freaking assault rifle and shit and whatnot and a flamethrower. So he has freaking Danny Glover stripped down and run, and it draws the guy's attention. He's like, hey, or also when you're out there, flap your arms like a bird.
Yeah.
He's like, why? I need him distracted. He'll turn more. He's like, I'm gonna die in my underwear, Riggs. And so he's actually going. He's like, fucking hilarious. And so
Lethal Weapon 2, they fuck you at the drive-through. Yes.
Yeah. And in the fourth movie, you see the you see these little articles. It's like LAPD's new uniforms and shit. And he's like, it's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fucking fault. Okay, folks, it's been a year almost already. This shit ain't funny no more. Okay, enough is enough. He's like, okay, guys, I'm the one who has to fucking deal with this shit here. And so he's reaching over to get another fucking copy of the article. He's like, if I find out who does this, I'll kick his ass.
But anyway, chat, that is Lethal Weapon 2. And like maybe at some point down the road we will talk about Lethal Weapon 3 and 4, but this is just for the 1s and 2s where we talk about the first and second movie in a franchise, and that's the sequel to the first Lethal Weapon. So, and I will agree with Trey. I think it's like the weakest of the franchise as a whole. But I'm gonna add on to that. That is by no means means this is a bad movie.
Yeah,
it's by no means means it's a bad movie. Just I think it's kind of like the Evil Dead franchise. Kind of like the Evil Dead franchise, but there's really no bad one in there. There's just weaker elements in certain films. That's it.
I mean,
so it's still a good movie, still a decent movie, still a good sequel.
Where Lethal Weapon is a solid 8 out of 10, Lethal Weapon 2 is a 7.5. Actually, no. Lethal Weapon would be a 9, and Lethal Weapon 2 would be an 8. Lethal Weapon 3 is an 8.5. Lethal Weapon 4 is... I'd actually put it at 7.5. I'd actually match that with Lethal Weapon 2. Lethal Weapon 2 and 4 are the weakest ones. 1 and 3 are the best one, or the better ones.
It's kind of like the opposite how like I was with the original movies for Star Trek, where like the even ones were I thought were the stronger ones and the odd ones were the weaker ones.
My favorite one is always going to be Undiscovered Country.
So
I pay him real money to shut up.
In the chat, go ahead. But we're like wrapping it up here. Tomorrow I'll be on Orange Chat's channel. He'll go into this in more detail for the second of the singles this month, and we're talking To Paris with Love.
Yep, From Paris with Love, folks.
From Paris with Love. So
what
I'm going
would
to be
you
watching that
do
tomorrow.
to be a special agent? Would you accept a partner who is absolutely fucking batshit insane? Well, you'll definitely have to find out when you watch that movie. Mara, I'm going to ask you one question at the start of that stream tomorrow. So be ready for it.
All right. But anyway, so before I give my outro, Orange Chat, again, let everybody know where they can find you and all that fun stuff.
So tomorrow on my channel for singles, Friday for Orange Hat Uncensored with Janet from Another Planet and Ruben. Saturday is either going to be a video or just an off day. Sunday is me and Nerd with Cigar to do the Hollywood recap or weekly recap. And Tuesday afternoon, about 1:30 Eastern, I'm going to be cracking out the wands for the Harry Potter and Wizarding World franchise to give my thoughts on them. The last Tuesday or yesterday, I did the Terminator franchise. So yeah.
Okay. And as far as like schedule wise for me, again, I'll be on Orange Chat channel tomorrow talking from Paris with Love. Friday most likely will not be any stream or what have you because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stream at all even in the afternoon because I have a doctor's appointment at 1 p.m. and I'm planning on seeing a movie in the evening. So it kind of really basically confines my time I have during the day. So if I do anything, I'll most likely play some X-Defiant offline since that test is going to go live at 1 p.m. my time, which is conveniently when my fucking doctor's appointment is. But when I get back, maybe play for a little bit offline to see what they added, if anything, to it, if they nerfed anything, if they buffed anything in the game, and then maybe stream it Saturday. I don't know for sure when. It'll be either an afternoon stream or an evening stream because that also depends on when my sister wants to see the movie that we both want to see, and that's Abigail. So if we see Abigail in the afternoon or late afternoon showing, I'll be streaming in the evening. If we see Abigail in the evening, I'll be streaming for a little bit in the afternoon. I don't know, but most likely it'll be X-Defiant so you guys can see what's going on. And then Sunday should be Talk Nerdy to Us on my Nerdy Homes channel at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. I don't know if I'll be playing D&D or not. And then Sunday, because I believe the X-Defiant test will be done before the evening, I'll be back playing Halo Reach on Legendary mode. So that is the streaming schedule up and through Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. So on that note, have a good rest of your day or evening wherever you are in the world, and we will see you all tomorrow on Orange Chat's channel. So good night and peace.
Stay humble.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.